You're watching Fox 61 Morning News.
Well, breaking news at 11. Nearly a week after a water main break caused more than half of Waterbury to lose water service, city officials are ready to give another update on where the water supply is at right now.
Yeah, the city of Waterbury remains under a boil water advisory right now. Water samples were collected and then sent to the state public health lab this morning. The results are expected to come in tomorrow morning. So that is why the boil water advisory will remain in effect until testing confirms that water is free of bacteria and safe to use. So even though it's on right now and folks are starting to see that water service come back, it is not safe to use at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is that the water is back, but as you just said, you got to be careful. You want to make sure you are drinking water that is healthy. And bottled water, it's actually going to be available today at Municipal Stadium, 1200 Watertown Avenue, until supplies are gone. Waterbury Public Schools are closed today and are expected to reopen tomorrow. So we will continue to have updates on that this morning. But good news is it's going the right direction. Bad news is we're not there quite yet.
Yes, so we'll keep an eye on all that. And as soon as that press conference gets started, we will go ahead and take a listen into that. But right now, we're going to check in with meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli for a look at how this Wednesday is shaping up. And Rach, I'm so excited about this warm up we've been talking about all week long.
You can feel it.
The warm up is on the way. I mean, it doesn't take much, right? Yeah, Monday morning, we were starting off in the single digits. It felt like -7 at one point in the Hartford area, and now we have numbers that are in the 20s and 30s now. We started off in the 20s this morning. We're going to get up around 40 degrees this afternoon. It is a bit breezy right now, and we are expecting a partly sunny sky towards this evening. So we do have morning clouds making way to some afternoon sunshine. Near 50 degrees on Thursday. That's going to be ahead of a real big warm up on the way for Friday. Friday morning, temperatures could approach near 60 degrees as they rise along with the opportunity for some steady rain. I think the morning commute on Friday is going to be a bit messy. We do have an opportunity for gust potential closer to about 50 miles per hour in some locations for Friday morning. So that's kind of the windswept rain and just not ideal for morning commute. So looking after about 10 o'clock on Thursday evening, that's when we think the rain will develop more in the way of scattered rain at first, and then eventually it overspreads the state. We'll have rain and wind heavy at times through the morning commute. It does look like it winds down by Friday evening. You want to allow for extra travel time and charge those devices. Right now on our satellite and radar picture, it is mostly cloudy. If we zoom out to the bigger picture here, there is a clearing line. We're just waiting for that to get here. So eventually it will, and we will see some emerging sunshine before the sun goes down. Wind speeds now are up. We've had those winds start to kick in. So we have gust potential 10 to about 20 miles per hour. And so it is taking our real feel down to the 20s across most of the state. 27 in Torrington. It feels like 32 degrees in Meriden right now, despite our numbers being close to 40 in Willimantic and Putnam. It feels like the lower 30s right now. So wind speeds stay up throughout the day today. We are looking at wind speeds that are going to be up towards about 25 to 30. Into tonight, the winds actually back off mainly after midnight. It's not as windy for tomorrow as highs get back up to around 50 degrees. I thought I was making a mistake. Temperatures tomorrow are going to get up to around 50. And then as we head into Friday morning, though, you'll start to see those winds begin to kick up, gusting closer to 40. And then during the front that comes through, we could see potential gusts closer to 50 miles per hour. That's also going to take the warmer numbers along with it once the winds diminish. So for today, temperatures anywhere from 41 to about 43 degrees, wind gusts up towards about 30. So dress for a bit of a wind chill today. Heading through the overnight hours, it's mainly clear. We're going to drop those numbers into the 20s. Now we are expecting a little bit of melting happening today. So watch those first steps out the door. Those could be a bit tricky. Temperatures will be in the 20s to about 28 degrees as we head into the overnight hours. Tomorrow, back up to around 50 degrees in the afternoon. We'll talk about more on the way. We'll walk you through the hour by hour and get you caught up on what you need to know coming up in just a bit. Over to you.
Alrighty, thank you, Rachel. It is 11:04 now, and we are on standby right now waiting for the city of Waterbury to give us the latest update on the ongoing effort to safely restore water service following that recent system-wide shutdown. Let's go ahead and listen to Mayor Paul Pernowski.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming out. We just want to give you an update on where we are with the water. As we had indicated, starting Monday night, we began filling the lines on the east end of the city after we got the new 32-inch butterfly valve in on Thomaston Avenue. We did that deliberately, slowly, and carefully so as not to jolt the system and cause further problems or potential leaks or breaks in the system. That took quite a while to do that. We've never done it before. I think it took a little longer than we had expected. But at 8:30 last night, we were able to begin increasing the pressure and releasing the 30-inch pressure line into the system to fill that. Overnight, most of the system has filled up. At this point, there is water throughout the system. Everyone should have water at this point. I know there was an issue a little bit earlier today after we announced that we discovered with East Mountain. Part of that problem was an airlock in the tanks, and those homes are fed exclusively by the tanks up there. So if the water didn't get into the tanks, the homes weren't getting water. But once that was identified, we were able to get up there and rectify that. There are a couple of other places in the city at very high altitudes that may not yet have water, but it's on its way. But what I would say to people right now is most people should have water. So if you don't have water, call 311 or call the water department, and we will try to get out there to see what the problem is. I know people are posting a lot on Facebook on the neighborhood things. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. That's fine. But that's not the way to communicate best with the city. So if you are having a problem, please call us. Then we'll know about it, and we can get out there as quickly as we can to try to address it. So we will be doing the testing. We haven't done it yet, right? We're going to do the testing later today. So 24 hours will bring us till tomorrow, and we expect to have a clean bill of health going forward. If we don't, then we'll test again in 24 hours. And schools, which have been closed for 3 days, we will be opening schools tomorrow. So all of our schools at this point have water. There are 2 schools that are having a little bit of a problem with a backflow valve. As the water went on, they popped out, but we're in the process of repairing those. But we, at this point, fully anticipate going back to school tomorrow, Friday, and Monday, and then they're off for the rest of the following week for their holidays. So with that, I'll just ask Brad to come up and talk a little bit about what they've been doing, and then we'll take any questions.
Sure. So thank you. As the mayor said last night, late last night, we went live on the 30-inch high-pressure main into the east side of the city. With that came a lot of inherent risk, which we spent the entire night trying to mitigate. We had full crews of guys on fire hydrants at key locations, making sure that we were forcing air out of the system. Like I said this morning, on the radio this morning, the big risk for me was not so much the mains. That was a risk, but I didn't want to blow people's service lines out. A lot of those service lines where they connect to the main are old. I mean, really old. Probably, when your house was built, and there are some old homes over there. I didn't want to blow those out because repairing a main is one thing. Repairing 2,000 or 3,000 water services is completely another. Now I'm digging up every single yard trying to get those things repaired so people have services. I know people were aggravated. I know people were upset with me. That's fine. I'll accept that because we didn't blow out a single service main on anyone's house. So there's a difference between me saying I wanted to fill the system with water and then add pressure, and that's what we did. So when I said, hey, the system has water in it, and everybody's, well, I got no water in my house. Well, that's because we're adding no pressure. We're not pushing it into your house. So I needed to make sure that nowhere did the water, the high pressure water hit a cavity, hit an open line, hit a line that had nothing but air in it. Because all that would have done was just blow the line apart or blow your service line apart or just cause problems that we didn't want to get into yesterday. So we went slow on purpose. Now overnight, system is fully pressurized. We ran into some problems with some frozen vents, some frozen hydrants. Obviously there's been no water or no running water in some of those lines for days now. So we ran into some issues on our tanks. Some of them were airlocked. We had to go out, relieve the air. Some of our pumps were airbound, like just normal things that we were anticipating, just trying to find all of them, trying to get to all the problems. And now the issue is, or not an issue, the fine line that we're walking right now is everybody has pressure, everybody has pressured water. We turn on the pump stations to fill the tanks. That steals some of the water. So people woke up this morning and their pressure was great and everything was fine. And now we're trying to fill the tanks because the tanks kind of feed the higher elevation areas of the city. So now we're trying to feed those tanks so those people have normal pressure, and that's stealing the water. So we're walking a fine line between stealing the water and filling the tanks, and we're running it on cycles so nobody's going without water at this point. But the water pressure is going to fluctuate as we get our system. Today,
all right, and that was a quick preview of the latest news conference updating folks on the water situation. Mayor Paul Pernowiski did say most folks, everyone should have water right now, except some folks in the higher altitude areas of the city may be seeing lower pressure, so they are working to address that right now. And they did advise folks who are having issues to call 311. They said, social media posts can be helpful, but it is best to go ahead and call 311 so the crews can get out to your area as soon as possible.
And I think a big update that we can take away from that is he did say schools will be open tomorrow. Their water is back, so that is great news. I know a lot of families, kids are at home and they're trying to figure out what to do. So school will be back tomorrow.
Yes, and if there are any issues with the testing results, the mayor says they will go ahead and do another round of testing tomorrow. So the hope is, the water's back on. They are restoring that service to everyone, including those folks in the higher altitude areas, and that the kids will be back at school as normal. It's just for a few days before their Christmas break begins on Monday.
So it's working, it's going along. So thank you all for tuning in. We're going to send it back to Fox 61 regular programming, but if not, stay with us on Fox 61 Plus as we continue our show. And now we are going to take a look outside. We are monitoring things in East Hartford, where Interstate 84 West was closed after a crash this morning. Serious injuries were reported after that crash happened around 8 o'clock. And Connecticut State Police say they are investigating.
Happening today, a West Haven police officer is expected to appear in court to face an assault charge. Richard Nacarado has been on administrative leave since an incident during an arrest in early July. We're checking out some body cam video here. This was released just this month. It appears to show the officer pushing a man to the ground and punching him several times. Hospital records show the man complained of head and neck pain and had minor head injuries. And students are back in class this morning after a school security guard fired a gun at Torringford Elementary School yesterday morning. Now, the good news is no one was hurt. Police say the school's armed security guard, who works for the Torrington Board of Education, immediately reported the incident and is cooperating with the investigation.
Well, the manhunt for the gunman who killed 2 Brown University students last weekend is expanding. Authorities released new video they believe shows the suspect casing the area before opening fire inside a library. Additional security is now on campus, although classes and exams are canceled. 7 of the 9 students who survived remain in the hospital. And breaking news out of Capitol Hill this morning. 4 Republicans have broken with Speaker Mike Johnson, siding with Democrats to force a vote aimed at extending pandemic-era Obamacare subsidies for 3 years. And as we have previously reported, if no action is taken, millions of Americans will see increased health care costs. The nonpartisan Kaiser Family Foundation estimates the average person receiving ACA tax credits could see their annual premiums jump by more than 100%. And there was a major shift in the global oil market that could mean changes close to home. Coming up, what it could mean for drivers just days before Christmas.
Plus, a late boxing legend, Muhammad Ali, is now being honored by the U.S. Postal Service. How you can get your hands on the new stamps. All right, I am excited. I've been saying it all morning, but you know when we're starting off with like single digits, and it was like 7 o'clock when I came. 7 o'clock. 7 degrees, rather, when I came into work the other day. 32.
That was the air that hurt your face. Because it also came along with some really, really gusty winds as well. Yesterday wasn't all that bad. Our highs yesterday were in the 30s, but we didn't have a lot of wind and we had some sun. So, I mean, I took a walk around the block yesterday and it wasn't horrible. It didn't hurt my face. And today will be a little bit better. Temperatures will be in the 40s, so looking forward to that.
Good.
Yeah. The average temperature for this time of year is right around 40 degrees. The average low is around 24. And so we're going to have these above average days, but near normal lows. So we're going to have a lot of melting over the next couple of days. So the wintry backdrop out your windows is likely going to get all washed away by Friday. Average high temperature is around 40. The record high set back in 2000, 63 degrees. And while we won't necessarily hit 60, we're going to come pretty close to it over on Friday. Temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60 as we climb and bring those numbers up into the morning hours. And then after that, the numbers dip back into the 30s for Saturday, the mid 40s, but still a lovely day on Sunday. And it looks like as we head into Christmas week, a lot of the U.S., so if you are traveling or heading to see family members across the U.S., a lot of the locations will be dealing with above average temperatures. Santa is saying he doesn't want the cold, apparently. Below average temperatures to the north, and I think we'll be near normal the next couple of days after we get past the next 3. 36 in Hartford, 39 in Middletown right now, 39 in New Haven, 35 degrees in Torrington, and 39 to near 40 in Willimantic. Wind speeds 5 to 15 miles per hour. We have gusts that are reported a little bit higher than that. So that is making the real feel down to about the 20s to near 30 for areas inland, mid 30s along the shoreline right now. Clouds are being pretty persistent this morning. Eventually we get those clouds to clear. There's that clearing line back off to the west. So expect some sun as we head towards the later part of the day before the sun goes down under a mostly clear sky as we head into the overnight hours. That's going to drop our numbers as we head into tomorrow. So while we do have melting today, watch those first steps out the door for tomorrow morning. 20s tonight, 29 in New Haven, 22 in Willimantic. Heading through the day tomorrow, we're back up into the upper 40s near 50 degrees. And then we have some rain that develops after about 10 o'clock. It's going to come down as rather scattered at first, and then it develops more widespread towards Friday morning. I think Friday morning's commute is going to be pretty rough, so bring some extra travel time, factor that into your drive, and charge those devices as we are anticipating gusts closer to 40 to 50 miles per hour at times on Friday morning. So here's Thursday night, 8 o'clock. We have mostly cloudy skies. We have some rain that develops. It comes down at times, and then we have a lull in the action, a rise in the numbers, up around 60 degrees by Friday morning, a round of rain, downpours, and windy conditions up towards 50. And then eventually, once this front comes through, it takes that warmth along with it. Up to about an inch to an inch and a half of rain when all is said and done, but the gust potential is 40 to 50 miles per hour. So we did put this weather impact alert in place for that reason. I just don't think it's a great time to head out and kind of be on the roadways with the wind, and I know a lot of us are going to have to be, so just be mindful of it. Otherwise, as we head into the weekend, it looks quite nice. Saturday in the upper 30s, we're in the mid 40s for Sunday, and then we'll cool those numbers back down as we head into early next week. The next opportunity for some snow and rain comes in our way on Tuesday. Brennan and Symphony.
Well, happening right now in Manchester, a family is getting a chance to furnish a home with the help of donations from both Bob's Furniture and the Joe and Druzy Foundation.
Yeah, the family shopping right now has a 6-year-old that's affected by a rare type of cancer. Now, they're also starting over after a tragedy at their home just a few months ago. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson has their story.
Two families are getting a chance here at Bob's Discount Furniture to furnish a home with the help of the Joe and Druzy Foundation. Mother Courtney Jackson and her son Johnny McDuffie Cox are starting completely over after a car drove into their home in August in West Haven. Johnny is also a 6-year-old cancer patient with neuroblastoma. At 1 o'clock, Jennifer Coffey is coming in to shop for her home. Coffey is a breast cancer patient from Old Lyme. It's something the foundation does every year, but this year is bigger because Bob's Discount Furniture tripled the foundation's donation, totaling $2,500 in store credit to help these families. We spoke with Joe and Druzy, who also went through cancer in 2007 and understands the burden these families have.
When you get stricken with that, that word cancer, it takes a toll on your mind and body, and a lot of times your bank account, and you hear 50% of cancer patients become bankrupt after a battle. It's heart-wrenching, and to meet people and just to get those, those two great words, thank you, and it's so rewarding to hear those words.
Now, later tonight, you will be able to hear from the patients and the families themselves about how special it is to shop for their new home. But for now in Manchester, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Thank you, Jamel. Well, the Trump administration says Americans can expect a more affordable new year. Ahead of the president's primetime address tonight, the White House says he'll reflect on 2025 and look ahead to 2026. However, economists say the picture is complicated. Retail sales were flat from September to October, and the unemployment rate hit a 4-year high last month. The economy lost more than 100,000 jobs in October, but added 64,000 in November. And tomorrow's Consumer Price Index report will give a closer look at inflation.
Developing overnight, President Trump has called for a, quote, total and complete blockade of sanctioned oil tankers coming in and out of Venezuela. The order comes a week after the U.S. seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. The Trump administration has also launched strikes on suspected drug vessels in the Caribbean, with the president repeatedly saying that strikes on land will come soon. And the oil market is taking another hit. U.S. crude prices dropped to just over $55 a barrel. That is the lowest since early 2021. Brent crude, the global benchmark, is also sliding toward a multi-year low. Analysts say a possible peace deal between Russia and Ukraine could add to the excess supply. Now, for U.S. drivers, it means cheaper gas, with prices expected to dip to around $2.80 a gallon by Christmas.
Aldi is issuing a voluntary recall for some holiday barks. According to the FDA, the Shakur brand 5-ounce bags could contain undeclared nuts or wheat. You are urged to throw it away or return it to Aldi for a full refund.
Check this out. Boxing legend Muhammad Ali is being honored with 2 new postage stamps. They're set to debut January 15th. Ali, a 3-time heavyweight champ, was also a humanitarian and received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2005. He passed away in 2016 at the age of 74. Now, if you want to get your hands on these stamps, you can pre-order them on the Postal Service's website.
Well, it was another win for the 5th-ranked UConn men's basketball team. They beat the Butler Bulldogs 79-60 last night at People's Bank Arena. And UConn will now travel to DePaul University in Chicago for their next game on Sunday. That game is set to tip off at 4:30 in the afternoon.
As for the number 1 ranked women's team, they're looking to extend their 10-game winning streak. Tonight, they will face off against the Marquette University Golden Eagles over at the People's Bank Arena in Hartford. That game is set for 7 tonight.
And the Hartford Athletic released its 2026 USL Championship schedule. The team will play 30 regular season matches with 15 at home, and the season starts on the road in March with the home opener set for March 28th. That's when the team will raise a banner to celebrate last year's USL Cup win. Pretty cool.
And now on to some hockey. The Bridgeport Islanders are back on the ice at home tonight, where they will face off against the Syracuse Crunch. Puck drop is set for 7 p.m.
All right, and it has been 25 years since professional hockey first hit the ice in Bridgeport. And this season, the Islanders want to celebrate by giving away a family 4-pack of tickets every month from now through April. And if you want to try to win some tickets, just go to the FOX61.com contest page for your chance to win. All right, have we seen that sun yet?
Oh.
Still waiting.
A little later in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 o'clock. 2 or 3 o'clock. You'll start to see emerging sunshine. And if you don't, I'm sorry. But that's what I'm anticipating. I think that when I wake up from my nap, I'm gonna get the sun and I'll be like, there it is. And then the sun goes down in the 4 o'clock hour and it's just mostly clear overnight.
So you can get some vitamin D for a little window of time today.
A little bit of a nice afternoon. Temperatures today are going to be in the 40s, so not bad. Tomorrow, we're going to get numbers up to near 50.
Okay.
And then as we head into our Friday, that's when we're anticipating temperatures stay at close to 60 degrees in the afternoon. Well, rather the morning, late morning, early afternoon. But that also comes with a chance for some rain as well. So temperatures will start to drop off as we head into Friday evening, and that's going to set the stage for a colder but dry weekend. And the weekend forecast looks pretty good. I mean, I'm looking forward to Sunday. Sunday looks great. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s, so not bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah, we'll just have to watch the rain on Friday. I don't love the timing of the rain. It is just rain, but with the rain and the wind, a lot of us on the road on a Friday morning, it just makes things a little tricky. So we have a weather impact alert for that reason. We're not anticipating flooding, but there could be some issues, maybe charger devices just in case, because the winds could be pretty breezy.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, before we go, we do want to give an update to the Waterbury press conference. They were saying school will be back open tomorrow, so that is good news. We still got a lot of testing to go, but at least things are going in the right direction. I know a lot of people, over 100,000 people, have been very focused on what is happening in Waterbury.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. So I know people are glad to have some water flowing, and they are expecting those clear test results.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Make it a great one.